was a young man with big dreams, but every morning he woke up feeling stuck. His room was filled with unfinished books, half-written notes, and a computer screen that glowed endlessly with distractions. He often told himself, "I'll start tomorrow," but tomorrow never came. Days passed in a blur of scrolling through social media, watching videos, and lying in bed while the world moved on without him. The sun rose and set, seasons changed, and yet Ion remained in the same place, feeling heavier with every wasted moment. Deep down, he knew he was capable of more, but laziness held him back like a weight he could not lift. Every day, his dreams seemed more distant. He imagined achieving great things, traveling, creating, learning, and making his parents proud, but his actions never matched his imagination. When he was younger, he had promised himself he would be different, but now he could barely find the energy to finish a single task. Even simple responsibilities felt like mountains, and his mind was full of excuses. "I'm too tired. I'll do it later. It's too hard." These thoughts repeated over and over, forming invisible chains that kept him from moving forward. Friends called him lazy, teachers grew frustrated, and his family tried to encourage him, but Ion barely listened. One evening, he missed a major opportunity. A scholarship application he had planned to submit months ago had closed because he waited too long. The disappointment crushed him. His parents were silent, their eyes filled with a mix of sadness and worry. His friends congratulated each other on small achievements, while Ion felt stuck in shame. For the first time, he realized that time was slipping away faster than he had ever noticed. It wasn't just about missed opportunities, it was about life itself. Each wasted hour felt like a part of him disappearing, and the fear of regret sank deep into his heart. As Ion sat alone that night, staring at the ceiling, Mr. Karim, a wise old mentor in the neighborhood, noticed him. He had seen Ion struggle before, in the quiet sighs, the empty notebooks, and the restless nights. Mr. Karim approached him with a calm, gentle voice. "Time lost is life lost," he said. "Every second counts, Ion. You cannot get it back, but you can start using it wisely today." The words were simple, yet they struck Ion like lightning. For the first time, he felt a spark of clarity, a small flicker of hope amid the darkness of his inaction. That night, Ion could not sleep. He replayed every wasted day, every missed chance, and every excuse he had ever made. The room felt smaller, the air heavier, and the silence louder than before. He remembered the dreams he had buried and the life he wanted but never dared to chase. His heart ached with regret, but the pain also pushed something forward, a desire to change. Questions flooded his mind. What am I waiting for? Why do I let laziness control me? How many more days will I lose? The tension built inside him, and the audience feels it too, because everyone has faced moments when time slips away unnoticed. Ion's awakening was subtle but powerful. It was not a sudden miracle but a slow recognition of reality. The story sets the stage for his journey, showing both his struggle and the emotional weight of inaction. Viewers are drawn into his life, feeling empathy and even self-reflection. They begin to ask themselves, am I wasting my own time? What opportunities have I let pass by? By the end of this section, the audience is emotionally invested, eager to see whether Ion will find the courage to change, and inspired to reconsider the value of their own seconds. The next morning, Ion woke up before the sun. For the first time in months, he felt a strange mix of nervousness and determination. He remembered Mr. Karim's words, every second counts, and decided to take the first small step toward change. Instead of reaching for his phone, he sat quietly for a moment, planning his day. He made a simple list: tasks he had been avoiding, goals he had postponed, and habits he wanted to build. The list was short, but it felt like a lifeline. Every item he checked off gave him a small sense of victory, and for the first time, he felt that his actions could actually shape his future. The early days were not easy. Ion stumbled, lost focus, and sometimes returned to old habits out of habit and comfort. He felt frustrated with himself, angry that he had wasted so much time before. But he also began to notice small changes. He could finish assignments faster, his mind felt clearer, and he even had energy to help others. Friends and family saw the difference too. They noticed his quiet determination, his growing responsibility, and the way he smiled with confidence instead of anxiety. These moments reinforced his belief that change was possible, and they made the journey more motivating. Ion also started embracing daily routines that maximized his time. He set aside specific hours for studying, exercising, and reflecting. He learned to avoid distractions, limit social media, and focus on meaningful tasks. Each completed goal, no matter how small, built momentum. He began to feel a sense of control over his life he had never experienced before. Even when he felt tired or doubted himself, he reminded himself that the seconds he spent taking action were building the life he had always dreamed of. The audience can feel the emotional satisfaction of these small victories, recognizing that transformation is gradual but powerful. Months passed, and Ion achieved something he had long considered impossible. He completed an important project, submitted a delayed application, and received recognition for his efforts. The sense of pride and accomplishment washed over him. He looked back at his old habits with a mixture of relief and gratitude, relief that he had changed, and gratitude that he had learned to value every second before it was too late. Mr. Karim smiled knowingly, and Ion realized that the real reward was not just the success, but the person he had become, disciplined, focused, and fully alive. In the quiet evening, as he reflected on his journey, Ion understood the truth of his mentor's words. Life was too short to waste on laziness and hesitation. Every second was a gift, a chance to grow, to learn, and to achieve something meaningful. The mistakes of the past could not be erased, but they could be lessons guiding him forward. He made a silent promise to himself that he would never take time for granted again. The audience feels both closure and inspiration here, as they see that transformation is not about perfection, but about consistent effort and awareness. The story concludes with a clear moral lesson: value every second, act now, and refuse to let laziness steal your life. Ion's journey shows that change is possible for anyone who is willing to take responsibility, face their fears, and commit to small steps each day. The emotional impact lingers: hope, determination, and motivation, encouraging viewers to reflect on their own habits and start taking action immediately. By following Ion's path, they realize that life's potential is unlocked not by luck, but by conscious choices, discipline, and the courage to act.